This Erika Kirk is in Southern California tonight. She's now leading the conservative Christian movement her murdered husband started. The event brought out supporters and critics.
Our Nicole Comstock live in Riverside, where this event took place. Nicole.
So there's like a lot of nicks. The devil.
I used to go to church on Wednesday.
And let me explain that, because there is a lot of symbolism in today. It's Wednesday.
Friday and Sunday, every week, like literally.
Kirk is now crossing the country on the Make Heaven Crowded tour.
Candace Owens has found another inconsistency in Erika Kirk's background.
Yeah, and there were a couple hundred protesters outside the church this evening denouncing Erika Kirk and Turning Point USA, saying their message is dark and attempting to take this country back to a time in history that many would rather forget.
What's going on here? Okay, will the real Erika Kirk please stand up?
It is really special. It's the first tour stop, and I have to say a really special thank you to Greg and Kathy, because you really see who your true friends are. You see who is in your corner. You see who is writing, excuse me, this microphone, who is writing my husband's coattails.
But inside the church, a much different story. Thousands of people came out here to hear Erika Kirk speak.
She lies just nonstop. It's like she doesn't know any other way. If she's talking, she's lying. She's very much like a politician.
And I saw that weight that my mom had to go through to be both the husband, essentially, and the wife. That's exhausting. Like, you are meant as a woman to be the guardian of your home. Obviously you pass once you transition into heaven, but the second time that you die is the last time that someone says your name.
Entertaining dinner parties after dinner parties, one famous name after another.
My privilege to bring in Erika Kirk, Turning Point USA CEO, and she wrote the foreword to Charlie Kirk, her husband's book, Stop in the Name.
What's going on here? Okay, will the real Erika Kirk please stand up?
Greg and Kathy both said something to me very, very important and special that really struck my spirit when they said it. And it was different than unlike anything else anyone else said.
And thinking about Charlie and his life, it was Corrie ten Boom, who you knew, I believe, Sheila, a great woman of God, who once made this statement: a life is not measured by its duration, but by its donation.
Yeah. And since Charlie's passing, she's reportedly inherited his wealth while also pulling in at least $5 million more in donations.
Charlie did not live tragically he did not sadly live a long life, only 31 years, but boy, in those 31 years, he sure accomplished a lot.
They said, but if you are able to turn this pain, extreme pain, into a purpose that is far greater than yourself, you'll be okay.
And I think when you really boil Charlie down to who he was, because I've seen him described, there's an article in a news magazine, political activist or right-wing activist, these terms that they use.
Every young man out there, and every young white man in particular, I hope you're watching carefully. They want you dead. They want your entire life to be obliterated. Remember that in November.
But really what he was, first and foremost, he was Charlie Kirk Christian.
Yes.
And then he was Charlie Kirk husband and father.
But that's not all. Some new reports just surfaced that Charlie Kirk's parents never liked Erika and even warned Charlie not to marry her. There's this video that just surfaced from Charlie's Medal of Freedom ceremony, and the interaction between Charlie's parents and Erika was so bizarre. When Trump was presenting Charlie's award, they were separated by a few people and didn't speak at all.
And when he would do these events on campuses, and I've watched many videos of them, he was very patient with people.
Sorry to interrupt.
Small businesses are running out of customers because they're having to pass the cost.
I see no evidence of that happening.
They would insult him to his face and say the most unkind and horrible things to him.
You know that, right?
There's still a 10% baseline tariff, and even though there's a 90-day pause, they're going to come back. That's the reality.
You know that better than I do, right? Yeah.
Well, I know that. That's a fact.
Oh, yeah, sure.
And he would just take it, even smile. Then he would come back and respond logically.
Okay, there's a 90-day pause on tariffs.
So again, I'm trying to be super, you're in high school, it's fine.
And calmly to the inflamed rhetoric that people would use against him.
Well, I'm having trouble finding a summer job.
I mean, really, at the age of 18, he started Turning Point USA.
Many people do not care for this man. So we're going to discuss the allegations because when they initially came out back in September, it was bad, but it's getting even worse now. More victims are coming out, are filing lawsuits, and we are left here to wonder, what was the actual intentions here?
And when we got married, I highly suggest if you are getting married to do premarital. It's not because you don't know, it's very helpful. It's very healthy, actually. And so for us, when we got married, we wanted to be very intentional.
Child sex trafficking in particular. And so I was interested in Erika having said that while she was, quote unquote, living in China, she was working with victims of sex trafficking. Okay, I want you to remember what she said. Take a listen.
It kind of grew into something more global. I was living in China and doing a lot of work with the victims from sex trafficking, and then began to phase that into working with the Marine Corps and the Army, and then was able to work with a orphanage in Romania.
Christian love, but really spreads hate.
I can't believe how easy it is to catch Erika Kirk in a lie.
Because this tour, Make Heaven Crowded tour, when Charlie and I got married, for those of you who are, I love that Bryce just got married. I remember those days where I literally would roll over next to Charlie and it's like 2 a.m. and I'd be like, we're having a sleepover. This is really cool. I have a sleepover for the rest of my life with my best friend. There's just this hyper obsession. I'm still heavily obsessed with my husband. I always will be. I love him so much. And then it's submitting to my husband, that sounds exhausting. It's supposed to be liberating. It's supposed to be freeing. You are in charge of what you're in charge of. Your husband's in charge of what he's in charge of. And it's supposed to be a beautiful marriage of a teamwork and symbolic within biblical marriage and symbolic within how God and Jesus and everything, just your whole faith is supposed to operate.
Well, you don't have to give us all of it, but the trail is important, right? I want to follow that trail.
Yeah, and not
I
everybody. Not everybody that's part of TPUSA Faith, which is a separate. There's TPUSA and there's like TPUSA Faith, which is the sort of evangelical franchise churches associated with it. Many of those people are part of what's called the New Apostolic Reformation, and they think that they're prophets, they think they're apostles. So there's a lot of charismatic kind of weirdness going on, and most of them, as we said, are dispensationalists, Christian Zionists.
And, I think it's time for my generation to wake up especially. So being the president of Wake Up America, what would you say to my generation to kind of wake us up and get us to pay attention to what's going on? Because at the end of the day, we are the future.
Yes.
Your daughter and your family, that we're all the future.
I was just going to say, I have a vested interest in the millennial.
The millennial.
3 days out of the week. And then later on in your life, you become busy.
Involving Harvest Christian Fellowship, which of course is led by none other than Pastor Greg Laurie, and him sending one of his pastors, Paul Havsgaard, to run the operation, to run the Harvest homes out there in Romania, in Bucharest.
And these are my little angels from Antonio Placement Center in Constanța, Romania.
And have nothing but stories of horror come out from those homes. All the while saying that they knew nothing about what went on.
And that stuck with me.
You went to China to work with victims of human trafficking. What?
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 I know, what? So, hey,
To
guys.
sell them further?
The Turning Point USA movement is just trying to bring us back to a generation that we fought so hard to overcome.
And police monitored the crowd as it got bigger and louder throughout the evening. Also important to note that some of the people out here protesting tonight were also just protesting in general against President Donald Trump and against the ICE operations that are happening across the country, and kind of lumping it into one message.
And so that's why this tour is so special to me, because I wanted to take that piece of slice of heaven from that memorial. For my husband, and bring it to everyone around this country.
Technically at the game. Look at this. But I needed to give you an update on the incredible day that we had today. We passed out 5,000 Charlie Kirk Freedom shirts, and even got those shirts down onto the field.
So that they could have that extension and that beauty and that palpable feeling of the Holy Spirit.
Check this video out, and it's unbelievable. We had a line of thousands and thousands of kids that, well, lined up, apparently, like since last night, waiting for these shirts. We are looking at just one of the most amazing, iconic cultural moments of our lifetime.
And so I'm just so grateful again for Greg and Kathy, and for all of you guys being here and showing up. And
Greg Laurie, very popular. Many people love him. And when I talked about this originally in September, I cannot tell you the amount of people that were just rushing to defend Greg Laurie. I mean, the idol worship of him was on full display.
it would always be our little affirmation to one another, and like a little wink of like, could you make it heaven crowded? That's we wanted the Lord to use our marriage for that. And so that's why this tour is so special to me, because I wanted to take that piece of slice of heaven from that memorial.
People who worship pastors even more so than they worship Jesus. And Harvest, in their statement at the time, stated that, again, that Greg Laurie did not know about this. This is horrible to hear. They were absolutely just taken aback. They said that Paul Havsgaard should be held accountable, which is funny because when I talk about the inspection report, it seems to sort of contradict Harvest's statement that they gave. But they also said that they contacted local authorities.
Right? So she worked for Feed the Children. She would feed them to the elites.
Yeah, Feed the Children to Hillary Clinton was.
And I just, again, want to thank all of you for the letters and the prayers and just the constant support.
And that was until I hosted the first Trump rally in Trump rally history right here in Arizona in 2015. I got a call from Miss Erika Kirk. Miss Arizona 2012. I just want to help, she said. So naturally, I put her right behind the president at that first rally.
Up against the immense spiritual warfare that we are constantly facing. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for